Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Englewood Cliffs Mayor and Council regular meeting. Today is March 8th. It's 8:10 p.m. Madam Clerk, have a roll call.
Mayor Kranjak,
Present.
Councilperson Zaversa,
Present.
E. Park,
Present.
O.
Here.
McMorrow,
Here.
M. Park,
Here.
Wu,
Here.
Borough Attorney,
Present.
Superintendent of DPW,
Here.
Borough Administrator,
Here.
Municipal Clerk. Everyone's present, Mayor.
Thank you. Let's start our meeting, as we always do, with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please read the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting was given to the press and posted as required. Date and time of this meeting was legally given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. This notice is on file with the municipal clerk and posted on the bulletin board. Minutes of this meeting will be made available to the public upon the completion of typing and proofreading by the municipal clerk.
Thank you very much. At this point, I'd also like to welcome our new Borough Administrator, Catherine Navarro-Steinoff. Catherine started on Monday. She's 3 weeks in already. She joined us during budget week, so it's been a lot of work, and we appreciate you joining us and working with us. If anyone needs to speak with Catherine, she's at Borough Hall every day. Okay. You're welcome. Okay.
I'd like to make a statement. I'm actually embarrassed and kind of upset at myself, and I actually want to apologize to the residents of Englewood Cliffs because I just recently realized that I and Bill Wu and Carol McMorrow and Mayor Kranjak is actually in violation of the Sunshine Law. And the reason why I say this is because I didn't realize at the time, but when we were interviewing Mrs. Navarro, that the four of us were together during that hiring process. So I have a question for the borough attorney. I don't know what we should do to remedy this, or if, this is new to me. I didn't know that at the time.
Well, certainly, to say that you were in violation of the Open Public Meetings Law
Yes.
is probably overstating. The Open Public Meetings Law prevents meetings where action is taken. And the action of, for example, of hiring Ms. Steiner was taken in an open public meeting under a resolution. So I'll look at the details of that, and then I will fashion a remedy if one is required. But I don't believe that would necessarily be applicable in an interview process.
And if it was a violation, then what are we is there something that we're supposed to do, or?
No, because when there is a violation of Open Public Meetings Act, what it means is the action that was taken in a meeting that was not public, which was required to be public, is void. So what you would have to do is to correct the mistake, is to have an open public meeting and take the action in an open public meeting. That's the remedy. In other words, if you go and approve a contract with 4 council people sitting around the table, and there's no vote and there's no resolution in an open meeting, let's say that was an example, okay? You can't bind the borough to what you did in that meeting. It's called void ab initio, which means void from the beginning. So an interview process probably doesn't fall under a violation of open public meetings. Of course, as the borough attorney, I do recommend that meetings between council persons be limited to, first of all, should not occur on a regular basis or under circumstances that may raise a concern You should always consult with the borough attorney if something like that is happening. But for example, advisory committees are allowed to meet, and that's not a violation of an Open Public Meeting Act, because you're consulting for an advisory that you would presumably give for action at the public meeting. So this is sounds very similar to me. But I will go ahead and look at that and see if there is an issue there.
I also have a question for the borough.
While we're on that subject?
Sure.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, I was walking in and out of the room to get copies, so there was that in and out as well. And we did meet first with Catherine, and then the meeting first started with the three of
Okay.
us. I just want you to know all the details.
Yeah, if I might, this is not something that we need to discuss.
Okay, well,
I will gather.
Councilwoman Park felt the need to discuss it
Right,
here.
so
publicly.
I'm an
gather-
attorney, and I keep telling you, I'm doing things very properly.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, I don't want to do anything that is perceived to be even inappropriate.
We all agree. We all agree.
We all agree, and certainly it is my obligation to follow up on it, and I will do so as necessary. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Did you get me?
Yeah.
Because I'm usually loud, so.
Okay.
I will look into this. I will get details. I will speak to each of you separately, and then we will take action if necessary. I don't think there's going to be any violation, and I don't think there will be any need for remedy. All of us had a closed session with respect to the candidates, and then we went into open public session and voted a resolution, so I think you're fine.
The second thing also is that I recently found out, well, I guess I have a question for the borough clerk. If a resident sends in a letter to the mayor and council, shouldn't all the council members also receive that letter?
If it comes to my attention, but if...
So apparently there was a letter from the residents of Van Nostrand to the mayor and council regarding the LG construction, which was apparently sent sometime last week, and I think Mayor Kranjak met with them today. And, you know, again, this goes to, my point is that, why do I need to find out from other people? Shouldn't I know as a council person that you didn't have a meeting today?
Shouldn't we all know?
Well, as the mayor, the residents contacted me.
No, the
If they
letter
wanted
said
to-
mayor and council.
If they wanted to contact you, they would have contacted you. I'm not your secretary.
Okay,
I got
so
a letter.
I'm sorry, who
Don't-
received the
Let me
letter?
finish talking. Let me finish talking. You're very fired up tonight,
Yes,
and I like
because-
that. I like that. I wish I could see more of that at the budget
Great.
meetings, too.
What do you mean? I'm there, not
Let's-
you.
let's do this,
You're
guys.
by phone.
The residents of Van Nostrand had some concerns regarding the construction site on the adjoining property which LG is working on. They had 7 points, and we reviewed those today with LG, and I think we resolved just about all of them.
So why wasn't that noticed to us? Why am I finding that out today from a resident of North Van Nostrand?
Well, because I'm the mayor, and I took care of the problem, because they
The letter
contacted
was-
me.
Listen, as I said before, it's not a dictatorship.
They contacted
It said
me.
mayor and council. I expect to get the letter also.
Well, quite frankly,
Well,
they
you know what, can I
contacted
ask a
me.
question to
We
this
can't-
council?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
anyone
yeah.
else on this council get a copy of that letter? Bill, Mr. Park, and Council President, did you get a copy of those letters? No.
There wasn't a letter, there was an email from one person to me, and I assumed that if they wanted
But
to
was
contact
it
you...
addressed to you or
I-
mayor and council?
I don't remember. It was addressed to me, and I
So
dealt with
you
it.
conveniently don't remember.
Now, I could also tell you, because this is the positive thing here, is that those residents were delighted that within less than 1 week, we had the heads of LG, their construction company, their engineering firm, all assembled in a meeting that they were all entitled to attend. And they did so today for
And
2
that's
hours.
great.
We, you're the only one who you said got the letter. Nobody else got it, so it's not
Well,
worth it.
listen, if you guys want to make a pinata out of me, that's fine, but I help the residents, and you're just trying to help yourself.
You have to
That's
follow the
all.
proper
Madam,
procedure,
I'd like to
Mayor.
know.
You can't just do it.
Inside voices.
All right.
Inside voices.
All right, if I might,
Same stuff every month, it's the same stuff.
That's
We don't
right.
get any information, man.
Really?
It'd be nice if you just give us some information, that's all.
okay,
You're
so,
not entitled to that information.
I'm
sir.
not entitled to that
No.
So
information when
the
it's
people who
addressed to
voted,
mayor and
elected me
council.
up here are not entitled for me to make a decision, only you are.
It was addressed to me.
It
Yeah.
was, really, okay, I'd like
It
a
was
copy
addressed
of that
to me.
letter.
It was addressed
Or
to me.
email.
And just for the record, I don't think I've ever seen Mr. Aversa at Borough Hall.
But, I mean,
The
can we
same.
just, can I tell you something? I just gotta say something here. We just sat at that caucus, and I just told you something, all right, regarding our budget, that I find extremely serious. And I didn't get a copy of the letter, email, whatever it is. But whatever the subject is, Councilwoman Park, I'm really disappointed.
I'm not Park,
Excuse me, I said
I'm-
Councilwoman Park. I'm just, what's going on here? Why are you so, let me please speak for a second. You're so fired up. You're so argumentative. If you want to ask the question, say it nicely. This is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. The
It's
three
an
of you,
embarrassment.
I didn't get it either, but if I'm going to answer, I don't have to ask it that way.
We've been asking for months now.
Excuse me.
Right, here, let me just straighten this
No,
up.
no,
The email was addressed only to me. I'm looking at it right now. So wherever you're getting your information, if they're out there, your information is not good. It was addressed to me, okay, as the mayor. I am the mayor. He's the former mayor over there. He's not used to that. He still thinks he's the mayor sometimes. It was addressed to me, and I dealt with it, okay? And I dealt with it, okay? So if you want to have something addressed to
When a resident
you,
comes up to me and says, oh, are you aware of what's happening on Van Nostrand? And we're unhappy with the noise. And I say, well, I don't know because this is news to me.
of course you don't know.
Right.
Because they
Do you think
contacted
that's-
me.
Do you think that's okay?
Of course it is.
No, but he's going to give an update during the meeting. We
He didn't give an update today when we were in caucus or here.
He'll do it during his committee report here. Give him a chance.
I'm here to
Let me
work
ask
with
you
you,
a question.
Carol.
When you
I
get-
am, right?
But I'm
But
so
when it
disappointed
came,
you're yelling.
All right.
because I'm upset.
All right, this is just
This
nonsense.
is
Let's
not
go on.
productive at
Let's
all.
go on.
Move
Not
on.
productive.
All right, so the letter, just for the record, everybody, listen up, it was addressed only to me, and I dealt with it, okay?
We'd like to see a copy.
All right, let's move
I'm
on.
sure they'll,
If you could give an update later on,
That's
during
fine.
committee reports.
That's fine, I'm sure-
If you could give an update to all of us, it would be most
that's
appreciated.
fine, it's not a problem. Pick a better issue to attack us on, guys, that's not a good one, it's a loser.
If we could move on, please.
Okay, so now on our agenda, unless Ms. Park has anything else to say or vent about, can we move on? You ready?
Sure.
Okay,
but,
let's
you
move
know, I
on.
hope we don't have this discussion again next month when we're missing information.
You're not
again.
missing any information, because it wasn't information intended for you. I think as an attorney, you could appreciate things that are being addressed to you and to me, right?
Okay,
Unless you change your name to Mario, you're not the
Can
Mario.
we,
Okay.
please, move
Okay,
on?
so we're at the point where we have minutes to approve. We have closed session minutes of November 10, 2016, closed session minutes of December 29, 2016, special meeting minutes of February 22nd, 2017, and closed session minutes of February 22nd, 2017. Do you have a motion to approve those?
Mr. Mayor, if I might, we need to take the first two separately because certain persons are recusing.
Okay, let's,
So if I might call for the motion for you, on the November 10th closed session minutes, I will note that in item 7, Councilwoman O was recused, and in item 9, Council President McMorro was recused. Neither of those councilpersons were present for the discussions on those particular items. So when the vote is taken, I would ask each of you to please vote whichever on all of the remaining and recuse from those particular items. So, Madam Clerk, can you call for the motion on the November 10th minutes?
Okay, I need someone to move it.
So moved? Am I allowed to move that? Because it's too...
Someone else move it.
Someone else move. So moved.
I'm sorry, who who?
Sorry.
Councilwoman Wu,
Well, Wu wasn't, okay.
He can't move it.
Can you move it if he wasn't?
He wasn't present.
oh, you can't move it.
Right, he was, okay.
He wasn't allowed.
All right, so,
I would prefer someone move it who's going to vote on it.
Eddie?
Are we talking about, are we talking
November
about November 10th?
yes, November 10,
Oh,
2016,
close.
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I'll
so,
move that.
I need a second. Fantastic, okay. Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
I have to abstain.
Abstain.
thank you. O,
Yes, with exception of item number 7.
Which you are recused upon.
mhm.
Yes. which I was recused upon.
Thank you.
McMorro,
Yes, and recused from item 9.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Abstain.
Thank you. The next one is December 29, 2016. I need a motion and a second.
Closed again? we're talking?
Yes.
I'll move that.
Second.
And just as a reminder, Councilwoman Navarro recused herself from that meeting.
Okay, I'll call her. Okay. Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, it's December
Abstain.
29th.
yes, abstain.
Yes.
O. McMorro,
Recused.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, and we could do the next two together?
I believe that everyone was present and no one recused. That could be one motion.
Okay. I need a motion for minutes, special meeting and closed session of February 22nd, 2017.
Which was the one where you gave, added something on at the end? I didn't read it, so I want to abstain from it.
You already voted.
Yeah,
I want 22nd? I thought that was,
It was on the November 10th one.
oh, no, I thought she said she added something in February. I'm sorry.
November 10th.
No, I knew that one.
Okay.
I thought you added something in February, and I didn't read any additions, so.
Okay,
Okay, I move that.
Aversa. Okay, and I need a second?
Second.
Wu. Okay. Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
We're doing the 22nd, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I screwed everybody.
Yeah.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
They all passed, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're up to claims.
Mayor, point of order. Before I move the claims, I had to ask Mr. Duffy to send 4 emails out to the council members to come out and sign vouchers. I have done this every month this year, and while I understand that the council members, certain council members are upset about certain things, they must remember their fiduciary duty to come and sign bills because our employees cannot get paid, and we can't do borough business if the vouchers aren't signed. So I hope that in April, I don't have to send 4 requests out for you to come in and sign vouchers. All right, please, I'm asking.
Is there any way we could get in here like at night or something? Is that possible or not wise?
The vouchers,
We don't have keys.
Yeah,
so-
no.
That's what I mean, is there any?
no, and their vouchers in, they have to be.
Janice-
If we can make, if I can possibly say something, vouchers will be ready every Monday before the
They
meeting.
actually were Friday, the one month.
Right, but, right, we're, just to
Friday,
get,
we're shooting for Friday.
okay,
But I'm just saying, it's a little tough for me to get even, just barely make the meal. Last 2 meals I've been late too, and I apologize to this council for being late, but the personal meeting is a little difficult, so that's why I'm asking, is there any way any vouchers could be signed later, or?
it has to be with,
That'd be 9 to
well,
4.
when someone's there,
Okay.
only because they're
I'll
vouchers.
do my
So,
best to get there.
moving forward, the vouchers will be made available to everyone on the Friday before the meeting.
That would help. I did
Yeah.
call,
She did.
the department 3 times, nobody picked up.
Hold on.
So finally, I did call the clerk and, make sure that the vouchers were signed.
Thank you.
Okay, and I
It's
think it was,
burden for one of us.
I think it
to
was
only-
3 emails, not 4, but,
Well, I should have to email you.
anyway,
You know your
yeah. Well, I did
responsibility.
call
Thank you.
and,
Okay. So, okay. That being said, Mayor, I have reviewed the claims February 9th through March 8th, and I make a motion to move that they be paid.
Have a second?
Second.
Welcome.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to be heard, please come to the microphone, state your name and address.
Hi, my name is Jack Shen, 66 Dillingham Place. Thanks, Mayor and Council for hearing. I would like to talk about a problem, the traffic problem at Dillingham Place. So, what happens a lot is that the left-hand traffic that's going on from 7 and to the Palliser Avenue. Sometimes kids use Dillingham Place as a shortcut to avoid the left-turn traffic light. And this situation became actually worse after a traffic divider was set up right before the lane, the left-turn lane and the straight lane kind of separate. So what happens now is sometimes the left-turn traffic will be blocked by even the left-turn signal screen is being blocked by the going straight traffic. So instead they take the Dillingham Place as a shortcut. And there's a little sign, and it's kind of faded, which is being refurbished. It says no through traffic, Englewood Cliffs residents only, and Englewood Cliffs Police Department. But I'm not sure even after that sign is being refurbished how many people honor that traffic sign. And it's not, in addition to the traffic, a lot of people who are taking advantage of this shortcut, obviously are speeding and going like 40, 50 miles an hour. And the traffic also goes both ways. So I think one of the root cause is because the green light on the summit is actually been given a pretty long time with the traffic that it has. And so when people make a ride onto the summit, then it almost seems like there's no car waiting there for the red light. So I'm just wondering whether that there can be a traffic study done, so to avoid people using Dillingham Place or New Street or any of the street as a shortcut, and in both directions to bypass the light at Palliser. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you send a letter last week on this, or was it another?
No, that wasn't.
I received a resident's letter
Okay, so that
with the same issues,
Okay.
pretty much. I think there was a few more, and I referred that on to the chief and to Mark Neville also, and they're refurbishing that sign as you mentioned.
Right.
They're doing some other things also.
Okay,
All right.
great. So that's great to hear.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Is anybody else wishing to be heard?
Douglas Barney, Mrs. Hollywood. I attended the budget workshop a couple of weeks ago, and I still feel like I didn't get my questions answered. I asked the professionals, because I've asked this question to this council regarding the $295,000, and I was told that you depend on the professionals. At that workshop, the professionals basically did not answer the question, and I'm still asking, why wasn't it $295,000 in the budget last year when the checks were paid prior to the budget being approved? And I don't understand why, if the professionals knew about it and Chris knew about it, because he made it clear that he knew about it, how we can depend on our professionals if they're not going to make sure that all of you do the right thing by the borough. Because you're not all accountants or in finance, so I don't expect you all to know exactly 100% what to do. But we're paying them, and they're the professionals, and they're saying that they told you that it needs to be in the budget, and it didn't wind up in the budget. And that's not okay. And that scares me, that we're dependent on professionals who basically are not giving us the proper information as far as the taxes are concerned. So again, I'm asking you as a council, you all sat there at that budget meeting, what happened to the $295,000? And if we have this great surplus, which I'm very happy about, why did we borrow to pay the $295,000? Why didn't we use the surplus? Can anybody answer me?
I think given that I'm working on the budget, I'm going to respond. I know you're not going to like the answer, but I'm going to respond with the facts that we have. They are our professionals. Just like the council before us relied on, I'm going to assume and hope, on whatever the professionals told them. Deferring or taking a special emergency is not something different than any other town in New Jersey does. And as the former mayor sitting behind you will tell you, he repeated, excuse me, I am
trying to keep it to.
You're asking me a question.
5,000. You keep
You
telling
need
me
to
what the
stop
previous
being, no,
administration
you need
did.
to stop. You
Okay,
asked a question.
that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what these professionals did. I spoke to the professionals, okay? I can tell
Do you
you
want an answer? You don't
that
want
they
an answer?
said you knew about it and didn't put it in the budget.
I'm not going to answer or affect, I'm not going to answer to what
You,
he said.
please answer my question.
I'm trying to, but you interrupt me every second, and this is, you're
I want to
standing
hear
there,
about the 295,000.
you're standing there for public comment, right? It's public comment. We're not on trial up here. We can
No, I'm
answer
just
your
trying to
questions,
get an answer.
but I'm trying to answer, and you're just repeatedly interrupting me.
Tell me how
And if I'm
terrible
going to give an
previous
analogy,
administration was,
if I'm going to,
then give me my answer, please.
I know you want to be political, I know we're in March,
I'm
I
not
know April is
political.
next
I
month,
am so
and you
far
need
from
to
political.
stop. I'm sorry, okay, that's
I
why.
have no agenda here.
Oh,
Believe
please.
me, I don't want to.
That's,
Okay.
okay, can I respond?
Yes, please respond.
Okay, thank you. And as I said before, you may not like the answer, but I'm going to give you the facts that we know. And we spoke to the auditor and we spoke to the CFO. And what we were told is that what was done is the same thing that's done in all other towns and throughout the state of New Jersey, just like the prior administrations did in doing the special emergency appropriations for terminal leave every single year. They knew those individuals were retiring, yet they did not put the money in the budget, and they did a special emergency appropriation at the end of the year. I would be very upset about that also. I find it very interesting why you're harping only on that one issue and not concerned why any of, why any of the professionals didn't advise any of the prior councils either. Why not? Why aren't you concerned about any of those items?
I'm dealing with today.
No, I'm dealing with all of them.
So if
Because
you
those
knew that,
professionals,
if you knew that.
I'm not saying-
If you had that information,
I'm not
I didn't,
saying-
and there was something going on
Mr.
that
Barry,
was not
you're
legal.
saying something's going on that wasn't legal. It was legal. It
I
absolutely
was
was
told by
legal.
your professionals.
He never said it was not legal. He did not say that. Please.
You weren't on the phone with me, were you? I spoke with Chris. I can tell you.
Oh, well, I didn't know
That
that. I
it
did not
should have
know that,
been.
wait a second. I did not know that residents
Okay.
are calling borough professionals and we're incurring costs on that. I didn't know that was even allowed.
You've got the bigger picture here. You're depending on the professionals. I'm telling you that your professional isn't doing his job.
Okay,
Not that you're not doing his
So do you
job,
want us to...
that the professionals aren't doing his job. That your auditor
Oh, no, I'm trying.
Look,
You
I
didn't
don't,
want to have it in the
look,
budget.
this has gone on every month for
Every
10
month
months.
you get up here.
So you have your answer. Is there anyone else from the public who
I
wishes
don't
to be
have an
heard?
answer.
You do have your answer. You spoke to the CFO. You have your answer, right?
No, but I don't know the answer from you.
Do you want to talk
told
about
me
the $1.5 million that I inherited? You want to talk about that?
It was in the budget, wasn't it?
You want to talk about that? No, it wasn't actually. Bingo! You hit it on the head. It was not on the budget. It was not in the budget.
And that was okay.
But you're okay with the $1.5 million, but you're not okay with 300,000.
It's not
Okay.
about the
All right, you
dollars.
have your
It's
answer.
about
You
how
do this
things are being
every month.
operated here.
Okay, keep talking. We'll listen to you. Go ahead.
Okay, well,
Keep
I'd
talking.
also like to know, which I didn't plan on talking about this, because I didn't even know this was happening. So if I send Eddie a letter in regards to something that I'm unhappy about in this community, can he act on that without speaking to the rest of you?
Depends what's in your
Well, you
letter.
just said that you acted on the residents' concern on Van Nostrand Street. You're able to do that on your own?
Yeah, you know what? 'Cause
He just sent an email. He was sent an email. He's a mayor.
I'm the mayor. I took a meeting.
I understand that.
I'm the mayor. Do you want to be mayor?
No, I don't.
You know why you don't want to be mayor? Because you would have spent 10 hours here today. That's why you don't want to be mayor, okay?
No,
I enjoy doing this. You know why I enjoy doing this? Because I had 12 residents. No, here's why I enjoy doing this tremendously, because I had 12 residents with a quality of life issue, okay? Not with some political grandstanding, which is what you're doing right now. They had an actual issue, okay? And they came to me and said, can you help us solve our issue? And you know what? I did.
And I think that's great.
Good, thank you.
I understand why the whole council doesn't need to be involved in it,
They do not need to be involved in it.
okay? And as far as the professionals, again, I'm telling you.
I rely on my
think that
council.
There's a real problem there.
I rely on my council. The first thing I did was send the council a letter and asked her what I should do, and I took a meeting. All right?
There's nothing
Bingo.
wrong with that.
All right. I know it's not really like glamorous, it's not political, but we actually help the residents. That's what we're here for.
Mario, I don't care about.
I know you don't, but I help the residents.
That doesn't matter.
You're just here to help the people that you work with. I'm here to help everyone, okay? Let's get that straight. Okay? So next month, when you come back with the 295, we'll,
This money, right?
right, 11 months.
$295,000
Right.
should have been in the budget. And I'm not gonna
Yeah,
let
well-
go, and I will talk to the president.
So
because
come back
he's
next
serious.
month. We welcome you to come back.
I'm gonna keep
Come
talking
on
about
back.
it.
Bring it back. Anybody else?
Wait, just so that we're clear.
No, but this is public portion, please. Is anybody else, please?
Wait, I have the right to say something. I just want to know, you said you received an email from the resident, and then you said you forwarded it to council, and the council said it's okay for you to just deal with it and not give anybody else any information regarding this letter. Is that correct?
What do you want to know about?
Wait a minute,
Hey,
wait a
hold on,
minute.
let me
Time out.
respond.
I'm
This
just
is
saying
public, okay.
that
Miss Park.
letters are being addressed
Listen
from what
to
I'm...
the attorney.
Wait, can I understand, but can I
Under-
just finish?
No, I'm sorry, you're interrupting the flow of the meeting. It's public portion. We will discuss this under old business or new business later on.
Okay.
Let's stick with the agenda, please.
Okay. Mr. Marinuzzi, you have anything to say?
This is not...
No.
I thought your hand was up.
You do that, I didn't raise my hand.
I thought your hand was up.
Maybe there is something wrong with
that's it.
petition that you don't see. I didn't raise my hand.
I thought you raised your hand, sir.
That's the first time you did, you did 6, 7 times. And that's not a joke.
You had your hand up.
I did not raise my hand, so you're gonna check your glasses.
Yeah. Anybody else wishing to be heard?
Come on up.
Mary?
I just told him to come up.
She told him.
You're right, you wanted to. Why didn't you let him come up? Let him talk.
Joe Parisi, 573 4th Street, Northwest. Mr. Mayor, I want to address the council because 4 times members on this council brought me up or as me as the mayor's administration. And a fiduciary responsibility doesn't end with me sitting in private citizen. And I have to ask you, because they made accusations about the town that could hurt the town, and your number one priority is to protect the town, no matter who, presently, prior, or future. So I'm asking you, do we need to talk, because there was some comments made which should have been stopped if it affects the town?
Which comments are you talking about, sir?
When you,
Wait.
I'm asking the council.
Okay.
Because now I'm
Be
asking
clear
as
in
a
your
private,
statement.
no,
Please
please.
stop.
I'm asking, I'm not an attorney.
It's my meeting.
I'm saying I have a fiduciary responsibility because you question things that happened in my administration or prior administrations. And her responsibility is to protect the town first and the citizens second.
Mr.
Not
Parisi,
the individual.
Mr. Parisi, what's the issue, though? What are
I
you
don't
talking-
know, but don't question the administration, this council, because you have a responsibility to protect the town also. So
Well, thank you.
you are now my counsel because you're the town's counsel.
So what is your question, sir?
The 5 issues that came up. Every time you mention the administration, $1.5 million. You said something, you alluded to something was wrong. Correct? Did someone do that?
Alluded to something was wrong? No.
Let me
Mr.
just-
Barrett, no, I'll be quite clear, I know what he's, I don't have an issue with this, I can
No, but,
speak quite
no,
clearly to
would you
Mr.
please listen to your counsel,
Parisi.
because
Mr. Parisi,
I have
you're
a-
making a statement and you're grandstanding again because you have your workers from
Counsel,
Ottstock videotaping us
I'm
right
not
now.
down because you're now affecting the town.
No, I'm
No.
not.
No, yes, would you listen to your attorney,
Okay.
please?
Mr. Parisi,
I have all respect for your attorney. Please listen to your attorney, and you know where I'm going with this,
Let me
Counselor.
just put a stop to this, okay?
Counselor, you know where I'm going. Just
what is your question, though? We're not
My question
following your
is-
question, sir.
your responsibility, Counselor.
Can you repeat your question?
Her responsibility as the borough attorney is to protect the town first.
Was that a question or a statement?
No, this is a question, yes or
Make it
no?
a question, Joe, come on.
What is your first responsibility?
Okay, you can answer that. What is your first responsibility?
Mr. Parisi, pleased to meet you. This is the first time I've actually spoken with you. My duty as the borough attorney is to the borough of Englewood. I don't represent... Englewood Cliffs.
Welcome to our...
I don't represent you
No.
or any individual in this borough or any other town which I provide, services to. respectfully, and all council members and the mayor and the council president should listen to me. The public portion does not necessarily mean that every council person has to engage with the members speaking and answering. I understand what you're doing very well. I do see, as this is only my third meeting here, that there is too much give and take and cross-talking, and I am disturbed by it. But it is not my job to interrupt these public officials, sir. And it is not my job to guess what people are alluding to, and it is not my job to defend this administration's actions when they are accused to be wrong, or your former administration when you are accused to have done something wrong. It is not my job. I will tell you, and I've told the public and the council before, it is not appropriate to act in less than a decorous way. Every single one of the council members and members of the public need to understand that. But it is not my job to impose decorum.
But your job is to say, I would recommend that you refrain from that question.
But you see, here's the thing. It happens so often that the attorney could take over and play mother hen to everyone in the room. Sir, it is not my job to do that. I expect people to ask questions appropriately, and if a council member wants to respond, I expect that to be appropriate. But it is not the purpose that everyone who comes up here expects an answer that minute. A lot of council people say, thank you, and the person goes and sits down.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, so, I understand, and I disagree also with your quote-unquote fiduciary duty. You do not have a fiduciary duty to the borough of Englewood Cliffs.
In my past
Legally, currently, you do not.
No, I do not, but if actions in the past, and if I was deposed or subpoenaed,
But,
Counselor,
okay,
you're an attorney, I don't know.
I understand.
I'm a layman.
Is there a question pending?
At this
It's not,
point,
it doesn't
really,
have to be a question. It's a question that you all should be aware of.
Then what is your statement?
Heed what your borough attorney says to you. I'm agreeing with you, Counselor, and don't get into saying statements about the past, talk about the present, because you talk about the past, you involve a lot, you put the town at risk.
Well, let me ask you a question. If the past affects the present, then what do you want us to do? Ignore the
No, you
past?
put the town at risk.
No,
It's
no.
your job to
No,
put
actually,
it on risk.
sir, since you're here, I'll tell you who put the town at risk. You did. And I fixed it. Okay?
Let me
We're
ask you a question.
finished.
Is that a statement?
Yes.
Or is that a fact?
That is a
You got
fact.
proof.
We do. We had a
Okay.
surplus last year, despite what you left me
No,
with.
no. And so I put the town at risk.
All right.
You say that.
Okay, I think
there will be no further back and forth.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
I'm saying is, Counselor, I understand your frustration.
she's not frustrated at all.
Yes, she is.
She's not.
No.
She actually is not.
I am merely hoping to sow a better relationship all around.
And that's fine.
I could tell you one thing, that
Thank you.
last month, we had a special meeting on the field study, and although everyone in that room didn't agree with things that were being considered, everyone had very thoughtful questions, there were thoughtful answers, there was a thoughtful discussion. Nobody was there to grandstand, nobody was there to politicize the event. We all got along, we all got a lot done. We haven't had any conclusions yet, but we proved to ourselves that as a borough, absent some people, we could actually have a proper meeting.
So, Mayor, that is, using your words, your feeling.
No, that was a fact, actually. It was a fact.
Thank you.
Watch the tape, sir. Okay. Anybody else wishing to be heard? Yes, Ms. O'Shea.
Mary O'Shea, 12 Irving Avenue. I would just like to ask the council people, when you're in the process of having the meeting, could you make sure that your microphones are on and that you have them extended toward where you're speaking out of your mouth and not this way or that way, so that we can hear you, okay? Especially those of us that don't hear as well as we would like me. And I also would like to say that the caucus meeting that most of the people were not here for generally was conducted in a much better tone than this meeting tonight. And I have to say I'm a little disappointed in Councilwoman Park and Councilman Aversa on their outburst. And I have to also say that if the mayor receives an email directed to him, and it's not a letter that's addressed to the mayor and council, he can act on it. And I'm sure the previous mayor, Mayor Parisi, here would have done the same thing. And he met residents, Mayor Stagnetti met residents, and tried to alleviate issues. And if you had to call a meeting of all the council, you have to have a notice made and all that public disclosure of the meeting taking place. If he was meeting with the residents from a street and addresses their problem, the problem is resolved, nobody should be upset about it. You should be happy about it. You should be happy that the issue was resolved to the residents' satisfaction. And the outburst that you're coming across with is unprofessional, okay? And I think better of each of you than that, okay? And what went on at the budget discussions earlier was very professional, and you should remember that and carry it forward with the rest of the meeting, okay? And I hope it does.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to be heard? Yes.
Lauren Eastwood, 4 Willow Drive. I find it really very curious that Councilman Aversa and Councilwoman O are current, and Councilwoman Park for that matter, are concerned about not getting an email that was sent to the mayor and the mayor alone. I never once had an email that was addressed to Mayor Parisi alone forwarded to me. And in fact, I was not aware of resident complaints. I did not know that we had a flooding problem on Morrow Road until after I left the council. Very serious problem. Mayor Parisi may very well have been dealing with it, which raises its own issues since it raised serious allegations against the former engineer who was a business partner of Mayor Parisi. I wrote a letter to the entire mayor and council about an issue involving my neighbor, a former Democratic councilman, and Boswell Engineering. That didn't even make it on the agenda under correspondence until Councilman McMorrow insisted. None of the council members ever indicated any concern about the fact that this letter, which had been addressed to them, and I know they all got it because I sent it all to their house, certified mail. So they all got it. They never asked about the problem. No concern at all about that. Terminal leave. Terminal leave is paid out over several years. And there is a resolution setting forth the terms under which terminal leave will be paid for each employee who retires. It's entirely possible that the borough doesn't know that an employee is going to retire at the time the budget is formulated. But they certainly know in the successive years about the terminal leave obligation, because it's in a resolution passed the previous year. But yet, year after year, all terminal leave was done as a special emergency. I didn't hear anybody complaining about that when that was done. Finally, I would like to address Mayor Parisi's, or former Mayor Parisi's, comments about jeopardizing the borough when things are discussed. Obviously, that's a risk, but there's another side of that. It helps the people involved avoid accountability for what they did. And I think that his advice should be taken with a large grain of salt.
Anybody else wish to be heard? Okay. Oh, yes.
Good evening, Andrew Nick out, 54 Elm Street. So I hadn't been at one of these meetings, I guess, since December. Bill, it's nice to see you up here. Better than when you're in the Santa Claus costume, right? Last time I saw you. So tonight I basically had nothing better to do. I got my 2 nephews over with my brother, 1 and 4, and you know what, I'm all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtled out. So I figured I'd come here and just see what was going on. And, you know, I guess nothing really has changed. You know, I've sort of tried to step back from the politics a little bit, but, you know, just as taking a more, I guess, neutral side of things, it's still the same snipping back and forth. And I really wish there was a way that you guys could find some way to come together. I mean, you know, maybe it was more cordial or more professional at the past meeting. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to see it. But this is worse than ever right now. And it's always a game of gotcha on one side, gotcha on the other side. You know, I'd love to come into a meeting where there was no, hey, I got you on this, or hey, I got you on that. But I don't know whether you guys can't help yourself or whether it's just in our nature to hate each other. But I have to say, as trying to get out of this politics stuff, I'm sort of disappointed in it. And I wish there was some way, you know, that you guys could find an issue that you agree on and work from there, because you serve the community a lot better instead of, and I'm not picking on you, Carol, I'm just using the example of Carol, if you're not fighting with Ellen, Ellen, if you're not fighting with Bill, Mark, if you're not fighting with Ed, Gloria, if you're not fighting with Mario, Lizette, if you're not fighting with Mark, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that the majority of the residents want to see you guys get along, and if I had to give you a grade on it, I'd say it's an F-, because you guys aren't getting along. And even if it means conducting, you know, like a social event or something like that, bring yourself together, you know. Maybe one side can be the bigger side and make the first olive branch or gesture to it. But I really want to see you guys come together for the good of the town, and no more, you know, last-minute quips or, you know, gotchas or things like that. And, you know, maybe we'll be a better town for it. Like I said, I don't want to, first time I've come to one of these this year. I haven't been here since December, and I'm disappointed in it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Maria Valari, 45 Main Drive. I want to say that I think that we are trying to do a great job, and it's a shame that, you know, it has to be constant attacks. I'm sorry, Ellen, I don't know really what happened, but I've never seen you that way. It seemed like you were just focused on attacking and not really listening, and I'm sorry about that. Nothing personal, really. The other thing is I wanted to say thank you to Mark. Those people did a wonderful job. My tree came down, and they picked it up. I didn't even have to call, and I'm so proud you guys are on top of everything. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, anybody else? Okay, have a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I'll read them.
We have resolutions that the Borough Clerk will read, and we'll vote on them one at a time.
Mayor, would you like me to read one and then we take the vote?
You want to do it that way?
Okay. Resolutions 2017. 55, authorized disposal of unrepairable fire department equipment. We need a motion?
So moved. Second.
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
56, authorized advertisement of summer camp personnel. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
57, authorize mayor to sign agreement with Green Light Events 5K race organizer. Need a motion?
So moved. Second.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
58, authorize payment to Glenn Luciano for a refund of sewer connection fee. Need a motion?
Can we discuss that? I'm not familiar with this,
No, I want an answer. Okay, so this was a resident that came to a council meeting.
I know who he is.
Okay, and, well, I had to familiarize myself. Indicated that he had applied for a demolition permit for a building and had taken the building down, and in the course of applying for a demolition permit, he was charged by the building department for connection fees for the sewer. And after researching and looking through, and myself consulting with the DPW superintendent, that fee should not have been collected, so it's money that we are refunding back to him for a fee that shouldn't have been collected.
Good.
Yes, I just want to stop.
May I have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro, M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
59, approval of medical leave. I need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
Just one second, for the record, this is regarding police officer, as we discussed in closed session.
Yes.
Lieutenant Wicker.
Okay. Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
60, approval of Demorest Avenue block party. I need a motion?
Discussion?
Yeah, this just, it's the same one as last year.
Right, remember, but last year we discussed that we were gonna have some kind of, because noise was the issue, I think, we're gonna do anything about?
Oh, I didn't know there was an issue with noise. Was there?
Yeah, that was one of the complaints people had, so. It's a block party, I assume there's gonna be noise. So the time is 11 to 5, and
It's a color
it's gonna
party?
be same as it was last year?
Color run party?
I have a question.
Is this open to the
public? The block party?
No, it's a block.
No. It's just for the residents of that block.
And their friends.
I see.
And there is a hold harmless agreement that was signed.
Everything's same as last year.
Same,
It's
and,
gonna be loud, and so I just wanna make sure I get, answer the people, that's all.
and the residents on that block signed off on a letter approving it. They were okay with it.
Well, Karen's the block behind that, and that's who I
Well,
I
perhaps.
just want to be able to tell people, listen, there's a party coming, have a good time. Okay,
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
61, appointment of fire subcode official. Need a motion?
So moved.
Wu and M. Park.
Yeah.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
And we're adding
62.
62, which we discussed during caucus. Authorize mayor to sign agreement with Community Pass. We need a motion?
Let me
sure.
interrupt and just make a bit of a record so that we can draft a resolution if necessary. The resolution, authorizing the mayor to sign is for an agreement between the borough and a company called CapturePoint.com of Ridgewood, New Jersey, with a startup cost of $6,000 for the initial year and an annual software subscription thereafter for a limited number of years, and pass-through costs that will be absorbed by the borough. The purpose of the contract is, the purpose of the services is to set up a website wherein persons who are interested in recreation or other borough activities can sign up for things, can pay for an entrance fee through this website, the fees get collected and reverted back to the borough minus a certain percentage, all of the details which will be reviewed in the proposed written contract and approved by the borough attorney's office before the mayor will sign. That is a condition of Mayor Kranjak signing.
So moved. I need a second?
Second.
Councilperson Zaversa?
Yes?
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
N. Park?
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
Thank you. All resolutions passed, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Unanimously.
Thank you.
Need to open to the public.
Right, right, okay. All right. I'd like to open to the public
Let me read it.
for the ordinances after the borough clerk.
Okay. Ordinance 1701, public hearing. An ordinance amending the code of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, Chapter 2, entitled Administration, Section 2, entitled Police Department, to add Section 2-13.8.3, entitled Fees Related to Employment in the Police Department. I need a motion to open to the public and a second.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, we're open.
Okay, is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on 17-01, amend police code for testing fees? Okay.
Close it. Okay.
Karen Geiger, just getting me out for Englewood Cliffs. I just want to know what the position is of the chief of police on these fees and whether he thinks they're appropriate.
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
I worked with Chief Chiaffi on these fees, as well as gathering documents for other information from the hiring process that is going to begin shortly, and with Council President Brown. The fee, he was in agreement. This fee is set as a reasonable approximation of what it costs the Borough Police Department to run, to take the application for a grant.
Anybody else? Can we motion to close?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, Mayor, may I take a roll call? A motion? Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Councilperson Zaversa?
For 1701, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
Mayor, we have an ordinance 2017-03, an ordinance amending ordinance 2016-09, fixing salaries, wages, and compensation for all salaried, appointed, and elected officials. We need to open to the public with a motion?
So moved.
Wait a minute.
What?
Isn't it for the administrator?
Well, that's the title, but you have, it's the title, but you have it.
Got it.
Yes. We need a motion to open?
So moved.
All in favor?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on ordinance 17-03, amend salary ordinance for Borough Administrator and Recreation Director? Okay, I don't see anyone, so can I have a motion to close the public portion on that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Councilperson Zaversa?
No.
E. Park?
I'm going to have to abstain because I don't know whether or not we might or may not be in violation, so I'm just going to abstain.
O.
I'm going to vote no because we have not introduced our budget yet, and I don't know where the money's coming from.
McMorro?
Yes.
N. Park?
Yes.
Wu?
Yes.
Mayor, we have 3 yeses, 2 noes, and abstention.
Okay.
Yeah, it passes.
It
Yeah.
Okay. Next on the agenda are the committee reports. maybe the easiest way to do this is, if there's any council member who has a report to give,
Yeah, you have to go down.
I have to go down, okay. Councilman Aversa,
Nothing to report.
what committee are you?
Lighting.
Lighting, okay. Councilwoman Park, what committee are you?
Board of Health, and nothing to report.
Councilwoman O.
Transportation, no report.
Have you met with anyone regarding transportation?
No, I have not. I'm assuming that things are going well, because I have not heard otherwise.
Councilwoman McMorro.
Yeah, would you look that up on, okay, thank you, Mayor. Okay, to start off, I've been working very closely with our new Recreation Director, Richard Casey. He's absolutely incredible, how he just jumped in, looking up everything, contacting everyone. He just is working so hard to try and get this recreation program to be an envy of all these other towns. He's got some great recommendations as they come in. I will be updating the council. And one of the things he got to us today was the community pass. He brought it up, he was one of the several that brought it up during his interview. And he is excited to start to utilize that to build all the programs and make them successful. So it's been a pleasure working with him thus far. I also had the pleasure of working with our new administrator for what seems like endless days since Monday. She came in, hit the ground running, and we basically went through every item of the budget, getting up to speed. For those of you that weren't here, I gave a very, very detailed report about our budget coming, what we're going to be going into on March 14th, which will be the budget introduction. We went through capital in detail, and I've gone to extensive lengths to ensure that every member of this council has all the information that I have. So, as I get it, I'm giving it to you. I explained to you why you did not have the budget prep sheets today, and I gave you very detailed information, getting you up to speed about what we will be looking at when we're making our introduction next week. So I'm asking you again to please contact me with any questions, anything, recommendations. I look forward to hearing from you. I haven't heard from any of you yet, so I as I explained, I assume that means you don't have anything yet, but, please, I would appreciate you not bringing the day of the budget, because that's not going to help matters any when we've had over a month. So March 14th, Mayor, we will be introducing, and we don't have to give a public hearing date until the 14th, right?
I just want to make sure,
March 14th, we're introducing the budget.
okay.
And
I-
you all confirmed to being available, we did that at the last
But I'll
meeting.
need the date at that meeting, because it has to be, at a minimum, 10 days before adoption.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Lizette.
You're welcome. April 26th.
Also, we have our Easter egg hunt. It's coming April 8th. For those of you in the audience, I'm sure you received the yearly calendar. I put that together with Richard and Paul Duffy. All the homes received it, and he's also been working on the website, and there's a lot that he's updated on the website that we have now that we have not had before. So we are trying very hard to update things. Yesterday, Richard and I met with Jennifer Brower and Frank Patty from the schools in regards to our feasibility study that we gave on Johnson Avenue. It was an excellent meeting, very positive. I'm looking forward to them getting back to us so I can update you on what their board's thoughts are. But I really am excited to hear what they have to say, and looking forward to working with the school together to accomplish something to get, jointly for the benefit of all the residents. And I'm going to let Councilman Wu, we had a meeting today with the PDA, and I'll let him update on that, and I think that's it, Mayor. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In terms of the police committee update, we had a good meeting last week with the chief to discuss operational budget, overtime, as well as new hires. Today, I was with the police committee, Mark Park, Carol McFarland, myself.
No, it's not with
With Chief
Today.
Chop.
Oh, that's
week.
good.
Today, we had a meeting with the PBA, the mayor, Council President McMorrow, and myself. We discussed the potential hire of a dispatcher with the PBA. We also had 2 additional topics. We talked about National Night Out and Junior Police Academy. Just work through the dates. There's some conflicts right now between summer camp and the Junior Police Academy. We're trying to work that out. We should get there soon. On the Board of Ed, they changed the meeting time again. The public portion of the meeting is going to be at 8 o'clock. The next meeting is on April 3rd. They're going to go into closed session at 6:30 p.m. and start the public portion at 8 o'clock. The most important thing to come out of the Board of Ed meeting was there was a meeting between the Board of Ed President, Patty, Council President McMorrow, and Recreation Director Casey, Richard Casey, to talk about how we can kind of think about both fields and see if we can plan, all the activities that's required on the field, shared use between the school and Wheatfield. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. We will talk about planning board. Okay.
Thank you.
Last month's planning board, all the pending application were carried to this month because of the snowstorms. But only one thing we passed on the planning board approved the plan to look at the district zone for potential rezoning based upon our governing body request. That's it. We just
Thank you very much.
I have one thing I forgot to mention. On April 22nd, which is a Saturday, there's going to be a free rabies clinic at 486 Hudson Terrace, and there'll also be adoption available for cats and dogs on that day from Bergen County Animal Shelter. So,
Thank you. Is there any old business?
One item.
Yes.
It's a really old business, actually. Borough Attorney, I've asked the firm, and you may not be aware, because I didn't think it last month. So I've been waiting for written, I don't know what the right word is, confirmation on, written opinion on, and we have a lot of things coming up police-oriented, and I had, this is not new, it's nothing personal, but I would like a written opinion on what Councilwoman McMorrow should be recused from, should not be recused from regarding police matters. If you could do that for me, it's not, you don't have to answer tonight, it's nothing like you just...
Well, but I do have to answer. So,
Okay.
first of all, for the borough attorney to take on a request, an individual request, I generally don't do that. I do what is generated from the public meetings and what is necessary from the day-to-day work that I received through the borough clerk, the borough administrator, the mayor. So I would feel comfortable just knowing that you're all in agreement for me to expend attorney fees. That's number one. Number two, services have to be paid for attorney fees. And number two is, it is my opinion and general practice that recusal need to be considered on a case-by-case basis because it is very fact-sensitive. So this is something I would say in a written opinion, but I'm telling you now that the general rule of thumb is that when someone has a consideration of whether or not they have a conflict of interest, they need to consider all of the facts surrounding it while making the decision. So, for example, Councilwoman McMorrow, anything that has to do with her spouse, who was a former deputy chief in the police department, should be a recusal because she's married to him. That may be true to a certain extent, and it may not be true. It depends upon the facts. The other guiding principle for conflicts of interest and recusal is that ultimately, it is that individual person's decision whether to recuse or not. However, as the borough attorney, I take it very seriously that if there is any doubt about a conflict of interest, whether you have one or not, then you should err on the side of caution and recuse yourself, because that does not put the body as a whole in jeopardy. So when you know you have a conflict, absolutely recuse yourself. When you're not certain, each one of you, and this is the first time I can say this to all of you, each one of you has the authority to reach out to me to discuss a conflict of interest that you think you might have, to discuss with me as borough attorney privately, so that you can make an informed decision, bearing in mind that I am going to come out with a decision that I hope would be correct for the body as a whole. Remember, if someone is found to have a conflict of interest later and did not recuse during the matter in itself, it could mean that the action that was taken wherein that person participated needs to be reversed. So that's a serious thing. It's asking that, your participation is challenged, but it affects the body as a whole. So it's a very serious matter. But also bear in mind that there are different conflicts of interest. The main one being that you have a personal financial interest in something. So if there is a financial result from the action that is being considered, that's the highest level of conflict that you could have. If there is a difference of opinion, that may or may not be a conflict. If someone has spoken to a newspaper person and taken a position, that doesn't necessarily mean that they need to recuse themselves if they're a member of this council, or any other body for that matter. So to the point, I do not think it is appropriate to opine on Councilwoman McMorro's participation on a broad basis. I believe each situation and consideration needs to be taken on a case-by-case, fact-sensitive basis.
Which is what we've been doing.
Correct.
Which is what I think you have been doing. So I can tell you that we don't have to spend any more money.
That's it.
I'm on the record, and
As long as every time we're allowed to ask,
Well, what you do, first of all, for you individually, and I'm telling you, you don't need council approval to call me if you have a discussion about yourself.
Correct.
Okay?
Understood.
If you have a discussion about someone else having a conflict, then I would suggest that you tell me, whether by email or in a phone call, and there will be a closed session about it, or we will have a discussion and figure out what we do. It's best to work these things out ahead of time.
Thank you.
And I know, excuse me, nothing personal, I welcome the question and the answer, but for the record, I would like to remind every member of this council that all of us in some way, shape, or form have conflicts. For example, nothing personal, Councilwoman Owen, but you own a title insurance company, and you represent a lot of clients, you're a public defender, you have a lot of dealings with police officers, and you could have a lot of conflicts with items as well. So I have those same concerns for you and what your conflicts are, because we already know that you have not recused when you were supposed to. No, we're speaking openly here, so we have to
And
take
this
it
is,
upon
this is not
ourselves.
political,
No,
right?
it's not at
No?
all.
Okay.
Councilman Aversa opened
I'm bringing up what I have said for a year and a
But
half.
what I'm saying, we all need to take it upon ourselves if we have a question, whether it's through being a public defender, owning a title insurance company, or whatever else, we have conflicts, and we have to do what the right thing is, ask the borough attorney each time, or publicly speak about it. But I'm not the only one that has conflict up here.
We're not saying that you're the only one,
We're the-
but...
I'm the only one that
I have
anyone
a-
ever asked about.
Excuse me, I have a question to the borough attorney. So it is your opinion that Councilwoman McMorro could be on the police committee, and she's not conflicted? I mean, we're talking about what you had just said before, in a broader picture.
You asked that in January.
We did, and we
And
got
we
an
dealt
answer
with
on
it.
that.
But
Wanna keep
I'm
asking
asking
it?
again.
Want to keep asking?
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody have any old business that benefits the borough and not their politics?
I do.
And not their politics, benefit the borough. Okay, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear good, meaningful questions that benefit the borough, okay?
Mayor, I have a,
Yes, Gloria.
I have a comment or a question that I'd like to also address to you.
Old business?
Old business.
Okay.
Okay. And, today is International Women's Day. I see some of the women wearing red.
Yes, I'm wearing a red tie, everyone.
Maybe you could be a little nicer to some of the women on the council here today. But anyway, okay, here's my question. So back in January, when we had our reorg meeting, we passed a resolution number, 1701, okay? We passed a resolution in January, a resolution stating that we would have our borough council's firm representing the borough until February 28th. Today is March 8th. What is going on with that, and are we going to be advertising for RFQ?
You don't have to, because I'm on holdover, but we do need to
You're
make a
technically
decision.
not a holdover because holdovers are for a month. There was a specific date on the resolution, and it was dated February 28th, okay?
Okay. Your point is noted.
Okay.
Your point is noted.
Okay,
It's
one
noted.
more comment while we're on the subject. So at the, I believe it was the January meeting, I had asked the borough attorney on what authority the mayor was able to charge the police chief. And she had promised me that she would email me. And, weeks went by, I didn't hear from her. I did make a phone call to her firm and left a message. She did not call me back. At the February mayor council meeting, I had inquired her about it, and she said to me right after the closed session, I have the information for you. When I got back at my seat here, I got a copy of this left on my dais.
No, I gave it to you, too.
No, you gave it to me, you left it here, and we had a conversation after the meeting. My question to the borough attorney is, who was this prepared for, and when was it prepared? And I don't...
What are you holding there?
I don't expect...
What are you holding there?
Well, I could show you what I'm holding, okay? But I'd like to know when this was prepared, and for whom it was prepared for.
Okay. The answer to your question, does the mayor have authority to sign charges against the chief? The answer is, yes, he does. It's found in Borough Code Section 2.4 in NJSA 40A-14-118, and in the cited case that I gave. That's your answer to your question. I am not going to take the bait on a piece of paper.
It's not a bait, and let me
Okay.
remind you something, borough attorney. You work for all of us.
No,
in this
I do
council.
not. I
You do
work
not
for
work
the
for the
borough
mayor.
of
You do not
Englewood.
work for the council president McMorro.
I
You
work
work for
for the
all
borough
of us.
of
When I
Englewood
ask you
Cliffs.
for an email, I expect an email. When I call you and leave a message, I expect a phone call back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, there had been a hearing conducted, and no one objected to me signing those charges, so you're out of line, Councilman.
Oh, she don't want it.
Oh, okay.
Any other old business?
Just for the borough clerk, point, am I supposed to bring this up?
Is that new business or old business?
If you want.
That's new business.
It's regarding the summer camp. Can you just
That's
help
new
me
business.
out with this, please, Dr.
Hold on, we're not on new business yet.
Okay.
Right. So, new business, I had two great parts on my day. One part was reading Great Day for Up, Dr. Seuss, at the Northwood School. Yeah, that was that help set up. Very attentive audience, very gracious, very nice. They were all under 10 years old. We could learn a lot from them. And then the other real good point today was getting the residents from Van Nostrand together with the senior management team of LG Electronics. in working through their issues. And that all arose from an email that I received last Wednesday from one of the residents. And he had articulated 7 issues. I passed the issues on to the LG executive that same morning. By the afternoon, some of the issues were resolved. I asked if they'd be willing to have a meeting as soon as possible, and today was the meeting. So we pretty much did what our residents expect us to do, what expect me to do, is to act immediately on issues, especially that affect quality of life. And I must say that everyone in that room, everybody was trying to find a constructive solution to a construction problem. There's dust, there's noise, there's pollution. It's all the things that you would expect, and, it just can't be helped. The outcome's going to be a beautiful building, probably the nicest office building in New Jersey, certainly the nicest town in New Jersey. I have to say the best town in New Jersey. So that's what we do. We don't politicize this stuff. We just do it, okay? And I encourage the council people as well. If you get something that you could help somebody with, don't raise it on the flag and say, this is, let's get lawn signs and deal with this. Just go out and fix the problem. You don't need to tell everyone you're doing it. But since you brought it up, I will. Okay. And then we have a summer camp, and that's going to speak to that.
I thought we addressed that with that resolution.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, it's okay?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other new business that will benefit the borough? Okay. Have a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, wait, hold on. Before we adjourn, can I get my piece of paper back from the borough attorney?
No.
Please?
It's my paper.
Why, how is that yours? You gave it to me at the last meeting.
Because I gave it to you and you handed it back to me.
No, I
And
did
you
not.
obviously
No, I
didn't
gave it
believe
to the mayor, borough attorney.
I will respond to your email.
Okay.
I gave it to the mayor,
I
not
will
you.
provide my opinion to you in the email.
I'm not asking for your opinion.
So
I want my piece of
I have a
paper
motion.
back.
Can I have a second to close?
I have a
adjourn?
picture of it, by the way.
All in favor of adjourning?
Who made the motion?
Aye.
Verse, and a second?
I made a second.
I motion.
All in favor?